Citizens of St. Lucia, my brothers, my sisters, good night, one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Tonight, I have come to pray. You see, I'm one of the jackasses, so I've come to pray.
I prayed with you.
I am supposed to pray for 10 minutes. And my message to you will be simple. The time has come to bring an end to this madness sweeping this country. We have crossed the threshold, the point of no return. I remember 1981, 82. And some of you here tonight will remember well. The St. Lucia Labour Party was removed from office by the collective will of the people of St. Lucia. The people of St. Lucia decided that the country, rightly or wrongly, was ungovernable. So they moved together. Sometimes labor and flower, other times patriots and concerned citizens. And now we have reached a point where this country is once again ungovernable. There is a government in office who can no longer manage the affairs of this country. There is a government we can no longer trust. There is a government that has breached the faith, the hope, the dreams we invested in them. There is a government that has brought dishonor, despair, sadness, destroy the things that we hold dear in this country. We have crossed the threshold. And the lesson from 1981-82 is this: we can, by our collective will, hand in hand, holding each other, remove Alan Shastey and his cabinet from the levers of power of this country. And the most powerful lesson of 1981-82, we did so, you did so, through democratic means, by using the tools that democracy gave you. And now, you have to use the tools that democracy has given us to remove this regime from office. The madness has to stop. And look at what is happening to the OKU hospital. On this side, we have reason to be concerned about the Owen King EU hospital. I was the Prime Minister that held the reins of government when we negotiated with the EU for the hospital. It was our government that designed the hospital, selected the site. And I'm not in the business tonight about legacy. I leave that for another time. But that has always been the aspiration of the Labour Party, to build for the people of St. Lucia a new hospital. And we did it. What has happened? Madness and chaos. I want to tell you tonight, we must fight privatization with every ounce of strength that we have. We must not allow that hospital to be privatized. We must be firm. We must tell whoever is coming from the Cayman Islands that hospital is not available to you. But you know, in all of this, I think of the European Union who funded that hospital. You know, when Chester told the European Union he wants to privatize, the European Union told him, well, okay, we are going to send down a consultant to look at the options that you have. Because how can you give a hospital costing over $200 million to a group that have never ever engaged in competitive bidding for the hospital? When the European official came down and started the interview, when he went to the government, you know what they told him? They told him, we know already who we're going to give the hospital to. The gentleman said, well, if you know who you're giving the hospital to, then I will have to pack my bags and leave. But I have some questions. I want to find out whether that Cayman group has paid any money to the government of St. Lucia so they can get access to the hospital. I want to find out. I want to find out whether Shasta has given them a letter of intent so that they can get access to the hospital. I want to find out whether there is a contract and what is in that contract to give away our hospital. It is our hospital. It belongs to us. It does not belong to any foreigner to manage. It was never the intention of the St. Lucia Labour Party to go and lease out any hospital or pass out any hospital to a private developer. And you know, that last election, some of you are still wounded. I will come back to that in a few minutes. But I want to say to the nurses that the Labour Party made sure that whatever arrangements that would have been created at the hospital, every single nurse who was appointed by the Public Service Commission was a public officer and protected under the Constitution. I say to the nurses tonight, not one of you must resign. Not one of you must accept the fate of Shasta. Fight him every inch of the way. But there's madness sweeping this country. And you know, I can't resist the latest one. I paid a price. I paid a price when I tried to be honest with you, when you didn't understand what I was trying to tell you. But this is not about me anymore. And I remember one of the things that I said to you, that the election in 2016 was not an election between the St. Lucia Labour Party and the UWP, but an election between the Labour Party and the Chastains.
Okay, you are telling that. You told them that.
I was misunderstood.
You want them. You want them. You
I
want
never
them.
told you.
You want them.
But even the Chamber of Commerce wrote to me a letter complaining about what I said about Michael Chastney. I could have sued the Chamber of Commerce for defamatory statements in that letter, but I kept my peace. I leave the letter for my memoirs. I saved that letter. But you know what? Look at what's happening. Look at what is happening.
And they couldn't be bothered.
Michael Chastney is on the site of the old prisons with Donnelly, directing the demolition of Her Majesty's prison, the old prison. Now I want to ask you, why is it that it is Michael Chastney who is on the prison site and not the Minister of Infrastructure, Stephenson King? Why? But you know, we have now reached, and I remember Wally's song, The Land of Absurdity. We are now in a period of our history when absurdity is what guides us, what makes sense to us. And what greater piece of absurdity that I've heard. What does Chastney write in the Voice, Michael Chastney? He writes in the Voice that they intend to demolish the prisons and build the OECS Supreme Court on the site of the old prison. What madness! Which judiciary in the Caribbean will ever accept a Supreme Court, a court of appeal on the grounds of a police station in this day and age? Absurdity. We are in the land of madness, of absurdity. That it is Michael Chastney who's directing the infrastructure program of the government of St. Lucia. Who is Michael Chastney? But I can't speak too long tonight. I can't speak too long. It's a season of madness, a period of absurdity. What else can you make of the fact that Chastney, without an iota of consultation with the opposition, with the people of St. Lucia, decides he's going to knock down the Parliament of St. Lucia, knock down the printing? Alan Chastney is a newcomer to the politics of this country. Alan Chastney has not fought political battles in this country. He's not Philip Pierre, who has been in the dungeon. He's not Philip Pierre. And then you have not even contributed anything to this country, anything tangible, yet you want to destroy the citadel of our democracy, the Parliament of St. Lucia. There's only one thing I'd say tonight. There is only one thing I'll say tonight. That is not happening here. That ain't happening here. No House of Parliament will be demolished. And if you see they try, if you see it tries to destroy Parliament, every St. Lucian must join hands and put a ring around the building in Parliament to protect that building. The man is a destroyer. He's a destroyer of everything in his sight. I don't know about you. I lament. I keep my silence. And I keep it because I have always believed that the people of St. Lucia have to come to terms with the decisions that they have made. I watch what has happened to our jazz. They destroyed jazz. They killed jazz just to please a few hoteliers. And who are the people who have suffered? The poor people who sold their wares during jazz, the small business people who had their restaurants, who welcomed guests to our shores, the vendors who congregated, whether it is in Dennery or elsewhere, and they just destroyed it, and we accepted it. I just said to you, in conclusion, a lot of you today said to me privately, look it, they asked for it, they get it. You told me, I told you so. Some of you even told me that I should feel redeemed because much of what I said on the campaign trail has come to life. Tonight I want to tell you, rid yourself of those sentiments. I'm going to plead with you and ask you, do not seek redemption in what is happening in our country, because our country is being destroyed before our very eyes. When Philip Pierre becomes Prime Minister, he will have an extraordinary job to pull this country together again. We have to get solutions to work together. Just like in 91-92, when St. Lucians decided enough was enough, so too, because we have a crisis in governance, we have to take this country back again. History has given us lessons. History is calling us to unite. Once again to hold each other locked in arms, hand in hand, to remove this most wicked, vindictive, and destructive government. Learn from history. Learn the lessons of history. And when you go back tonight, if there's any message from all of us on this platform, it is this: we have to work together again. You have, no matter how difficult it is, to persuade every Labourite who abandoned us to come back home. You have to constantly tell the Flambeaus the danger that they face, to hold their hands, and together, just as we did it before, when there's a crisis of governance, we can do it again. And we will do it again. Never forget the city of Jericho. Never. It's a powerful lesson in biblical history. And you know Joshua, when he wanted to take the city of Jericho, he marched around the city 7 times. And some of you think that this is the only march. But I tell you, like Joshua, if we have to remove Shastan, we have to march 7 times. So we must march to remove him. Good night and God bless you.